Oh, I can tell you every single detail. Trust me.
Now you're gone.
Now you're gone.
There you
He
go.
was just moving his mouth. He didn't say anything there.
Emphasize.
I don't know what's going on. Okay. It's kind of like I don't know what's going on with this movie.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Fair.
Fair.
All right. So, from what I understand and can remember, which is not much.
That's not the title of the show. It's what happened, not from what I can
All right.
understand.
That's
what
a
happened
healthy
was-
disclaimer. That's a healthy
Here's
disclaimer.
what happened. So, I don't know anybody's names, first of all. I know main character girl, and I know other girls. That's all we got for you. Main character girl, I guess they show at some point at the beginning of the movie that she got raped by someone. Basically, really all you need
Thanks
to
for
know about the
clarifying.
movie is that men are assholes. So they go to a college, and they're in a sorority. I know that. There's multiple sororities, though. And every man that they meet, except for one, is a dick.
all but one.
Accurate.
Not all men. There is the one.
9 out of 10 times.
That line is actually said in the movie. Not all men.
After that, it's a blur.
That could be the title of the movie.
Oh! Not all man miss.
I'm a little confused why this was called Black Christmas. I gotta be.
Did you
We
see
all
any
are.
Christmas? Did you see any Christmas?
The theme. I don't
Hey,
think
there
I
was a
did.
Santa toy.
It was
No, sorry,
snowing.
Connor. Back to Connor. Back
That's
to
about
Connor.
it. Okay, so there was a ritual that was happening at some point, I guess. The men specifically were doing. And then I don't remember anything else until the Christmas pageant.
I can't wait to show you the
All I
pageant.
can remember
I
is the
can't
pageant.
wait.
I think after this we have to watch the
So,
entire movie again.
I don't know
No.
about all that. I think I saw everything I needed to see. The Christmas pageant was a magical experience, it sounds like. Where the girls put on a musical performance, calling out all those guys for being pieces of shit. And they didn't like it. But they shared the video on YouTube, or whatever the copyright-free equivalent of YouTube in this movie was. It got around and got super popular, and all the guys at the school were pissed. And so all the girls start getting weird messages from the founder of the college, I think, who is the one who apparently originally did the rituals. I forgot about that part. And that is where everything starts going wrong, I think. It could have been before that. I don't really know.
Connor, I have to say, this is not bad.
This is good. This is very, very good.
It's not remotely correct, but I'm loving it.
People start getting killed.
Oh,
Oh,
Uh,
that wasn't in
not-
Tim's version.
there was a little bit of death. There was a little bit.
Oh, actually, sorry. First, people start losing things.
I can't find my Diva cup.
Like a blood cup, for example. That's the only thing I can remember that gets lost, but it gets lost. Not main character girl, but one of the other girls is walking around and feels like she's being followed. She turns around. I specifically remember this moment. She turns around and there's nobody there. And she turns back around. She gets stabbed. And she makes a snow angel.
Clearly the climax of the whole movie.
10 out of 10.
That was
away.
80% of the trailer.
That's the only death I can remember that happened. It might be the only death that was described to me. But apparently other people die too. Oh, sorry, someone also gets shot. We'll get there. Hold on.
Oh my god.
So,
What?
some other stuff happens. And they're at the sorority house, I guess. And these creepy dudes in masks show up. And he's got a bow and arrow. They've got bow and I don't know. Yeah, we're skip. I don't know what happened
There's a
after that. I
pivot.
remember the snow angel, and then I remember this. That's all. That's the best.
we went from the very beginning of the movie to like roughly halfway.
Like the climax.
I don't know what you want from me. I don't remember anything.
We want the truth.
Well,
We
you're
want to
gonna
know
get
what
the truth
happened.
of the end of the movie, but the middle part, as far as I'm concerned, didn't happen.
Except for the pageant.
Except for the Christmas.
The kick-ass pageant.
That's the only part you need to know. That and people die. That's synopsis of the middle of the movie. Christmas pageant, people die. We're at the sorority house. One of the other girls' boyfriends is there, and they're fighting, and they argue, and they eventually somehow make it back to the sorority house. I don't know. But at the sorority house, creepy guys with masks show up, and they have bows and arrows. I don't know if it's main character girl or one of the other girls, goes away from the group upstairs to find some Christmas lights. And I think at some point she gets murdered by said Christmas lights. With someone using said Christmas lights. Not animated Christmas lights. Let me be clear. Then we cut back to the arguing group, and they get shot at with an arrow. One of them dies, I think, from an arrow. I don't know. And the rest of them run away or something. I know that the boyfriend dies at some point. I don't remember how.
Just at some point.
At some point. That's all you need to know. He wasn't important. I do remember they hide in the kitchen because there's a Jurassic Park scene. Instead of a velociraptor, it's a weird masked guy. Jumps up on the counter and everything. Or people probably die there. I can't remember.
Oh god.
What happens after that?
Well, you were watching at that
I
point,
was.
so this should be
Listen.
a real chew-in.
A lot happened in a very short amount of time.
Did it?
Main girl and one other girl, she finds the body of one of the masked dudes or something and is trying to take his mask. No, he got killed by a car key. She was trying to get the car key out of his body. There we go. But she gets attacked from behind by another masked dude and gets saved by main character girl. Continue on with the plot. And they get the car key out of the dude and they start the car. There's some dramatic tension there where they can't get into the car, but they do get into the car in the end. He shoots an arrow at it, but it gets stuck in the car door somehow. And they drive off and argue for a while about whether they're going to go to the cops or there's some magical bust that main character girl somehow knows about. And she tries to take over the car. They somehow don't crash and stop like, instantly on the snow. She gets out of the car. Main character girl gets out of the car and leaves other girl to drive off on her own. Main character girl. Oh.
Why are you green all of a sudden?
Sorry. Main character girl is walking down the street and she finds the one good guy of the movie He is asking if she needs help, and she really creepily tells him that if he wants to help, he can do something.
We really want to help.
We cut back to other girl, and she drives to another sorority house and finds out that they are also getting attacked by creepy masked dudes with bow and arrows. I think we cut back to main character girl, or actually the one good guy. He's going back to I think where the pageant happened. I would assume because there's sound equipment. I don't know.
Good call. Good call. I forgot about that part.
And they destroyed his sound equipment. He's real mad about it. He throws some stuff around. He swears.
Morons!
And the creepy, some
Suck
more
my
creepy
fat
guys.
fart.
I want you to suck a fat fart.
I think they're the fraternity guys from earlier in the movie. Plot twist. Show up. They surround the good guy. And they explain their evil plot like any good movie villain does. He gets a headache, and I guess that's a thing that's been happening throughout the movie that I don't think was mentioned to me. But they explain that is the founder making him an alpha. he's pumping him full of that testosterone. Good guy is going to become an alpha male. Main character girl uses that as a distraction to go to the bust. She's there, she sees the bust, but she gets distracted by someone calling for help. And it's another girl. Like, I don't know what happened to her earlier in the movie, but now she's tied to a table. So main character girl goes to save her, but plot twist number 2, it turns out she's working with the asshole guys. And main character girl gets knocked out, tied to a chair, and now they're back in the bust room with all the fraternity cult there. They are turning good guy into one of them. Men are the true rulers of the world, or something like that, and women should be subservient and in the kitchen as it should be. And they're gonna make things right by turning all the men into alphas. And if you're a woman, you have to either obey them or die. And they explain that the reason things were going missing earlier, and that comes back around,
David Cup.
was exactly
Blood cup.
was so that the zombie people that they create somehow, they don't really go into that, can hunt down the girls who are not being obedient. And now they need a main character girl to either be obedient and bow to their master or die. And in the process, I guess to like try to scare her into obeying, they reveal that the other girl who was tied up, they put one of her things on the ritual table, and one of the zombie guys kills her. I guess we just needed more death. I don't know. The main character girl pretends that she's gonna bow. She's given up. She runs over to the table, grabs her comb, I think, and cuts. The asshole guy who raped her shows back up too. He is, I guess, the leader or one of the leaders of the cult. Then the zombie guy who killed other girl is gonna strangle main character girl. But woman force shows up as other girl who was in the car arrives with other sorority members, and they now have the bow and arrow, which means they hold the power to save main character girl. And they do. They shoot the zombie in the back. He survives, I think, but he lets main character girl go. They're not very clear on how the zombies work here. And then a huge fight breaks out. The sorority girls are fighting the men. Main character girl is fighting with the dude who raped her. She overpowers him and hits him in the head at some point. When main character girl gets to the bust, she picks it up and smashes it to pieces on the ground. and the good guy is back to his normal good guy self, and he now helps these sorority girls fight the assholes. We then cut to a professor, I think, who's in the fight, and other girl who was in the car gets a lamp of some sort, tells him to suck something. We don't get to know what, unfortunately. That's
It's
Never
true.
know.
unanswered questions of this movie. Throws the lamp at him. He gets lit on fire along with the entire building. They run out of the room, block the door with some paddles that will definitely not keep it closed for very long, but somehow they do anyway. They escape the building and they watch it burn down. And main character girl looks very concerned because I think somehow whoever made this movie really thought it was going to get a sequel. And that's what happened.
Okay, I just gotta. The icicle murder is the first 5 minutes of the movie.
I was told to
That is
be,
the
like,
first
towards
5
the end
minutes of the movie. The
Tim's
first 5 minutes is
recollection, I
icicle
think.
murder.
It's also not like she turns around and gets stabbed with an icicle. Like it's a
No.
lot more drawn out than that.
So this is a remake.
This is
the
it's a
third.
remake.
This is the second remake.
Yep.
So
All
it's
right.
like the woke remix, though, right?
Yes,
Folk
yes,
remake.
Yep.
yes.
Okay. Not in the movie. This song.
Where's Helena? She was pounding vodka sodas earlier, but she looked really good.
Water after that scene?
We can't hear them talking.
Helena hasn't gotten home yet. She was at DKO last night.
Still creating problems, all right?
I'm worried that something bad happened.
This song would have been great too.
It worked in Home Alone.
What the?
This school has 200 years of history. Many sacrifices have been made. Keeping traditions alive.
You messed with the wrong
Right
system.
there. Wild.
Okay, first factoid about this. Universal Blumhouse received backlash after the first trailer was released for the film due to the extreme amount of spoilers in it.
Every single plot point that we discussed was in that trailer.
Yep.
Sure it was.
And the only thing that so we saw this trailer and like it was clear that that was the entire movie right
Yeah.
there. And when Lindsay you weren't here for this one. Lindsay said the girl that's missing that we haven't seen dead yet is going to be like that's going to be the twist. It's going to be her. And I was like, Lindsay's always right. Like that's what's going to happen. And she was right, but
not
that
really.
point did not matter at all. Like it was
didn't.
just a little twist, but the trailer gives away every single point of that movie.
Yeah.
The reason the goo is black is because the movie you just watched is PG-13. The reason there's no blood in the icicle murder, the reason there's so little blood
Wow.
shown in this is because it's a PG-13 film.
I just thought it was because I thought that was the only way that it could be Black Christmas.
No, and also the
Like-
goo is supposed to represent literal toxic masculinity.
No.
I mean,
This hand is so heavy.
listen,
It's
yeah,
so heavy.
exactly.
They aren't even
Like,
trying for something.
I don't have a problem with bringing that really like important discussion into a movie. Like it is actually the stuff of a real horror movie, but it's so on the nose. Like there's no subtlety in this movie whatsoever. Like there's no like intelligent conversation to talk about like the subtle weaving of like oh my god, it's just too
This
much.
was meant to be marketed to young girls interested in the horror genre.
I'm just disappointed that it's from the Get Out people.
So it
'cause
was
It's
that's
it's the,
really
it's the
good.
production company. It's not like that's who published it. That's not who made it.
Director Sophia Takal worked extensively to make this version as feminist as she could, stating in an interview, "I want to make a movie where instead of feeling objectified or watched from a distance, the audience felt seen." This resulted in further backlash, and Takal was accused of placing more importance on the agenda over plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, which is a bummer because her heart was in the right place.
Well, the thing is, like,
You know,
all those elements could have been used
yeah.
in a much more realistic manner. Instead, everything was amped up to 11.
I mean, Get Out did it right.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, this film has the 28th worst lowest opening box office ever, only pulling $1.8 million.
worst lowest.
Aside from taking place during Christmas, featuring a sorority, a supporting character named Jesse Bradford, protagonist Jesse Bradford, and the main characters being college students, this film shares no connection to any previous Black Christmas film in terms of plot.
Yeah, there was no reason to call it Black Christmas. There was no reason.
I mean, the only way that Christmas works for this is those sick, glowing lit shots
Beautiful,
that they were
absolutely
getting.
beautiful.
Yes, and I kind of feel like somebody was just like, "Hey, I really want to work this into a movie."
But like
Let's
they
make
could
it
have made it Christmas themed still and called it not Black
Well,
Christmas.
yeah,
It made no
yeah.
sense.
The plot, this was actually a different movie. Sophia Takal originally pitched to Blumhouse a remake of I Spit on Your Grave, a feminist revenge flick, but she had never seen the film. Instead, they offered her a chance to remake Black Christmas, so she just reused her.
Idea.
I Spit on Your Grave. I've not seen it,
That's good.
but that is dark. Like
Yes.
really. Yeah, I mean that's like one of those movies that like ruins people. Like
Film,
super.
yeah, it's dark as shit.
Called I Spit on Your Christmas.
I spit on this franchise. I don't know. Like I really, as a
Oh, a glass unicorn statue seen in the film doubles as a reference to the original film and as a derogatory reference to Deadpool, which the directors considered a misogynistic film. Deadpool wasn't misogynistic at all.
I don't know. I've not. I've only seen it once. I don't have any comment there. But like, as the only woman in this "What Happened" thing, like I really want to like stand behind this movie and like root for it. But
Yeah,
it
it just could have been done
it
better.
wasn't done well.
Right.
It wasn't done well.
Absolutely.
God, that
Which is a
trailer makes me
bummer
so happy.
because the headway that this movie could have made instead kind of sends shit back a couple steps.
Several scenes in the trailers were altered by CGI solely for advertising purposes. Some
With the
scenes
bus.
digitally included the killer, such as a version of the scene where Helena is brushing her teeth with the killer standing behind her. In the film, she's alone. So that scene where we said there should have been a jump scare,
Yeah.
There was.
there was.
Wow.
And a scene where the girls unmask the killer only to find the college founder's head. Yep, that was something
Yeah.
that was changed.
That wasn't weird.
Absolutely.
There's
Which that
also
would
a
have been
modified
cool.
scene. Oh, here's another one. There's a modified scene where Riley closes the door of Helena's room to reveal the killer standing behind it because that wasn't in the movie.
Nope.
Yeah.
And then the person got their neck snapped or something.
In the trailer.
Did that happen?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how she died. That's to
Yeah.
betray her.
Yeah.
That was the last death
Oh,
outside of the fire.
Oh,
Yep.
Like if you saw that trailer, you knew every person that was gonna die because they showed every
They
person
showed
dead.
it.
They showed Franny dead on the balcony.
They showed
Which-
the girl who died from the Christmas lights.
They showed the icicle. They
Showed
the head
icicle right
snap.
at the beginning.
They showed the head snap.
Showed the head snap. Well, they also hear in the scene with the fraternity, you hear Carrie Elways talking
Yeah.
and explaining why he's doing this.
Yeah.
They even
And
showed
then-
him.
They
And then,
showed him,
and
right?
then they show how it's going to end, how the women save the day. in the trailer.
They literally showed the climax scene, and I'm going, what are you doing?
Watch the movie.
They even showed the black guy getting the nice guy getting the schmutz on his head.
Yeah.
They did.
Wow, I'm glad I didn't see the trailer.
I know, that's why I was like,
Brandon and I don't remember what movie we went and saw.
No
I'm pretty
idea.
sure some of the other guys were with us. I can't remember if you guys were, but that trailer plays. The theater is everybody's just kind of sitting there, and Brandon yells out, "Hey, thanks for showing us the whole movie in the trailer." The theater bursts out laughing. Dead. We're 10 seconds into the next trailer, and people are still cackling. And it was just like, I was just sat there like, they did.
Well, I guess that's why nobody went to see it, because they'd already seen it.
They did. They had already seen it. Yeah.
I didn't want to be wrong, but I was glad that I was correct on this, because I was like, I'm waiting. Like when Lindsay said that, I was like, yeah, I'm wrong. That's the way it was, and she was right. But
yeah,
but in a way that didn't have any impact on the overall movie.
Well, that's what happened.
Wow, that was just not a good movie.
I'm so glad we did it.
So not a good movie. It felt like parody. Like its message is good, but it was so shoved in your face that it felt like a parody of the truth. Like,
yeah, and I really love the whole cult dynamic and the robes. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
And when I said it in the middle of the movie, I was actually entertained. Like there was a solid portion of the movie where they weren't like overly pushing things. I was interested.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
genuinely,
the ending, oh my God, the ending could have been a little better.
Yeah, and it's because you didn't see the trailer. For Brandon and I, who had already seen it, I was bored because I'm like, I've seen this already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna say this again. I've said it 3 times already, but like, if the cult aspect of that was not revealed until the 3rd act, it would have been much better. Like they basically told you there's a cult going on. There's murderers. We've already seen there's tons of guys. They're getting the. It's like. Like I guess that was to figure out what the ringing was for the head.
They revealed the ringing way too late.
Yeah.
Did you notice they didn't show that until
in 2 instances?
2 times. And by the second time, you're like, this is mind control.
Nobody would have put that together. Like, if you are actually experiencing that and living it, you would not make that connection after
Absolutely not.
8 instances.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, they did a job with that.
It's like they had a lot of decent ideas and they just put them together really, really poorly.
Right, around an already made plot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, this had potential.
It did. It did.
And it could have had a really, really cool, really strong like message.
I mean, it sucks that something that tackles real life issues did it so poorly, exaggerated to such a point that people go, look, it's clearly fake. Look how fake it is. It's so exaggerated.
I
like
mean,
this movie's a disservice to the truth.
It's a scary and dark enough issue that they could have had a really creepy, psychological, thrilling movie.
Yeah.
Without so many of those elements.
If they had tied it more to like gaslighting.
Yeah, like people didn't need to be dying. Like there didn't need to be so much murder. There could have just been this suspenseful mystery.
Right. Turning such a realistic issue into a magic cult problem was like
not good.
Yeah, here's my mayonnaise and my peanut butter. Yeah.
We're white men. We're so oppressed. Come on.
I think they might have been able to still pull off the cult thing, but this was the wrong genre to do it. This entire story in.
Do it as a thriller, a psychological thriller.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
because
Take out the supernatural part, but keep the cult.
Because you've got this is like a funny slasher movie.
Yeah.
It's in that kind of a genre, but you're trying to take a very serious, make you think topic and a funny movie. You can't put those two together.
It definitely wasn't funny, like
don't
at
you
all.
think?
And also, there was no resolve because it's clearly like the whole college, and they just burnt down that frat house.
Well,
Yeah,
but
there's no
destroying the bus though, the spell's broken.
But there's no
Maybe.
evidence. Like, there's no evidence that anything like happened. They're all dead now.
So you're saying after this they all get arrested for burning down
Yeah,
the college and killing all the
probably.
dudes?
Yeah.
and
That's
it
why
just-
she looked.
Actually-
That's why she looked nervous. The cops
She's
were
like,
coming.
oh shoot, we up.
considering they would find the remains of those guys wearing a bunch of robes, they could get away by pushing we got attacked by a cult.
Yeah. I feel like the supernatural aspect really just like it didn't even matter. Like
It
if
didn't.
you were going to have this cult where like it's not even a cult at this point, it's just two guys that were controlling everybody else. Because like the one aggro kid was not under mind spell.
No. He and Carrie Elways were like, hey, we found this black goo.
Yeah, so it's like why wouldn't like so it's just two demented people controlling the men, but like if the overtones were so woman power and whatever, like it basically just said that
they weren't actually, but the rest of the guys weren't actually bad guys.
It basically denies that this is a worldwide issue,
and that it's caused by an evil wizard.
And it
That's the opposite of
it
what it should.
reduces it to a magical spell.
Right. Misogyny is a mysticism
that is fixable by just destroying the root of
destroying statues.
Yeah,
well, I think
in reality
there is a little bit of that to, like, if you're looking at the actual issues at hand here, there is a little bit of that. Like, the hatred isn't inherent, it's taught.
Right.
And that's part of the message, yes, but that's the wrong side of this message.
It wasn't delivered properly.
No, delivery was all wrong. Like, if they really wanted it to end well, if they really wanted to, like, make a point in the ending would have been, like, the women, like, getting in trouble for this. Like, you guys are just hysterical women, and you made a mountain out of a molehill. This is a culture of the school, and like that, like, had it end on like a dark note.
Right. It really would have drove the point home.
Like, you guys didn't fix anything because this has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years.
Right.
That would have.
Yeah, like turns out like all the cops are part of it, and all the.
Well, yeah, or just to show that this is like. This is an isolated incident that is a little over the top, but it's actually happening everywhere.
At the end of the day, I didn't like it. I can't suggest watching this.
Oh, I hated it.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Connor.
Bye.
Come and visit us one day when the